I like him. Office! And you're standing, and you're standing, and you're standing. I too BR, guys. Oh my god, it's off his face! How are you standing up? Oh my lord!
The clips that you just saw are from Twitch streamer and YouTuber Playful, who has 86,000 followers on Twitch and 119,000 subscribers on YouTube. And as you read the title, we're going to be interviewing him. So without further ado, let's go right into the interview.
Everything looks
Yeah, looking good. Hold on.
cool, man. Well, let me know if it sounds bad at any point. I've been having a couple issues with it, so I'm hoping it smooths out here.
All right, no worries, bro. I was just watching one of your videos right now. I can see you have a very hard time with the umpires on MLB 24.
Dude, I'm hoping that's something they change in the next one, but we'll see. We will see.
Yeah, well, Playful, it's an honor to be here with you, man. I'm excited to get started.
Well, dude, it's nice to meet you, man. I'm glad we could finally link something up especially before the game comes out.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, man. It's for its price though, but price for games are just crazy now.
I know, dude, and I think it's just gonna only go up. I heard GTA might be like something like $200, which is
I did
pretty
hear that
nuts.
too. All right, well, we should get started, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
I have a section for MLB and then a section for like just Twitch. All right.
Perfect. Okay, cool.
Okay, so what got you in the first place to MLB? Like MLB The Show?
Honestly, dude, just by kind of like playing video games like throughout my life, and I played baseball growing up a lot, so I would say MLB The Show kind of was just a game I always played. I didn't really play it online until MLB The Show 20, but I grew up playing it, man. I grew up playing Road to the Show, Seasons, all that stuff, and I really liked it. So eventually, once I got into Diamond Dynasty, I was just hooked.
That's cool. So yeah, so I started, man, I think I started in 23 when Chisholm was on the cover. And speaking of Chisholm, what would be your favorite MLB cover athlete?
Cover athlete, dude, it honestly might be the newer ones. I'm gonna be completely honest, because I'm not a big cover guy. Everybody always asks my opinions about the cover, and like that is kind of the last thing I think about. I'm more like into the game itself rather than who's on the cover, especially because I always buy the digital edition.
Right, yeah.
Maybe Ohtani. The Ohtani one was clean, I will say.
That's 18, right?
Yeah, no, well, actually, maybe it could have been, but 22 was Ohtani. I remember. I don't know if he had two different ones, but I know, 18 might have been Judge, actually.
I don't know, I thought it was 18. Maybe I might be mistaken.
Yeah, I think 18 might have been Judge, actually.
18 was Judge?
I believe so.
You're right, it was Judge. I don't know why I said 18. Okay.
I'm trying to still remember when Ohtani even came into the league, to be honest with you.
20 was not Shohei, unless it was. Hold on. I think it was
20 was Baez, 22 was Ohtani, and then 21 was Tatis.
Right, yeah, I see that now. Okay. I get that a lot. I mean, a lot of people don't really care about who's on it, just the gameplay itself. So, what would I know that you have a lot of struggles with 24, once again, especially the umpires and how the bat can be over the plate, but they call it safe, and you over here saying how they get hit in the back of the head with a brick or they have their eyes closed. But what would your favorite thing be about MLB 24?
Honestly, dude, the gameplay was solid. The gameplay was very good. You know, I definitely do joke around and say some stuff about, the game and everything, but that's kind of just more me having fun with it. Overall, I would say it's a pretty solid game, especially compared to the last couple we got. If it wasn't for sets and seasons this year, this might have been one of my favorite games. That's why I'm really, really excited for MLB 25, because gameplay has just seemed to improve year after year. So I'm excited for what's coming out going forward.
Yeah, that also kind of goes with the other question I was going to ask. What are your, since the game comes out like Thursday or Friday, what are you looking for? Like, I know they have a bunch of like new things like first person mode, and they have like the new college and university coming out, but like what would be your most favorite thing that's going to be in 25?
Honestly, I like us going back to no sets and seasons. I'm really pumped for Weekend League. Weekend League's a huge thing for me. Even though it's not necessarily a weekend league, it's like Weekend Classic or something. I'm just excited to have a new mode. And then on top of that, I think next gen, it being a next gen game is probably the most exciting thing to me, just in terms of smoothness, servers, and everything.
Whenever I hear a lot about like games like MLB or Madden, or like how they have the, you know, like they come out with a new game every year. It's like they always say that graphics don't change, but at the same time you can't really expect much with the graphics, especially since, you know, they're only working with what you can, you know, like.
Here's my comparison. I don't know if you played the Pro Spirits game that came out. Those graphics were incredible. Don't get me wrong. That game itself sucked. That game was awful. That game was not fun. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know, it had its stuff, but if you compare it gameplay wise strictly to MLB The Show, MLB The Show blew it out of the water. And that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong and people have different opinions, but those graphics were great. I would trade MLB The Show and its graphics for that game 10 times out of 10, regardless of the year. I have not a whole lot of expectations for better graphics this year, but I just, again, mine's more centered around the modes, how the game functions, rather than how it looks.
Right.
More than anything.
Yeah, I think gameplay over graphics is a very big thing when it comes to games, but people just want the game to look good, so they rather worry about graphics rather than gameplay. And I think that's something that affects games, because they worry more about graphics rather than gameplay, and there's less gameplay than graphics.
I think there's only so far you can really go with a baseball game, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. So I see that you play a lot of other baseball games, such as the Mario game. I see that you like playing that a lot. So what would be your favorite baseball game besides MLB The Show?
I don't know. Growing up, I played a lot of the bigs. The bigs was fun. Slugfest is always fun. I'm not gonna lie, Pro Spirits was fun for a little bit. It's just the overall gameplay of it, it wasn't the same as MLB for me. But I gotta go, if I'm only going one, I gotta go with the bigs. I probably played the most of the bigs. Yeah, probably the bigs too.
What would you say that you played more, the bigs, or, because you said you did play growing up, but like what did you play more of, the bigs or MLB?
MLB The Show, for
MLB
sure.
The Show.
I mean, that was kind of my go-to, just kind of playing Road to the Show or creating a team around the Red Sox, something like that. I would say, yeah.
Sox. Yeah, that's awesome. It's it's kind of crazy now that you mentioned the Red Sox, because I was an NFL guy and I liked the Patriots because of Tom Brady and Gronkowski, and then I went to Jaguars because it's, you know, home team, and then a family member introduced me to baseball, and because he was raised in Miami, he goes for Miami, so I'm also Miami. And especially now that we have a new manager since Skip retired, we have a manager from LA, and for the spring training, I know it's spring training, it's only training, I'm not supposed to take it seriously, but as an MLB guy, I'm gonna take it seriously, you know. And I can see that we've woken up, because like we have like double digits when it comes to points now, like Astros, and I think we played someone else yesterday, and we played Washington twice yesterday. So
yeah, I mean,
it's really fun.
It's like spring training, you can kind of get a little bit of a feel for everything and how the season's kind of going to be. You know, I don't take it too seriously in terms of everything, because, you know, end of the season, the games don't count.
Yeah.
But I do like to see that, you know, the teams are looking solid, at least to kind of compare what we're going to be doing, you know, in the real season.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So going back a little bit to MLB, I watched the video that Scan did and that he interviewed you. Do you remember that video that you made? Or that he made?
Yeah, the base running one?
Yeah. So he said that you were the one who kind of implemented it. How did that go about? Like, what was your thought process behind it?
Honestly, dude, like, I think I've always done that subconsciously, kind of just messing around when you start blowing people out in games and it really gets to be a lopsided game. I like to have fun with it. It's not ever meant to be something that I've like used to win games by any means. I just like having fun with the game. That's really why I don't play it super competitively. And I'd rather just do stuff like that and have a little bit of fun with it. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. People always find games like that as a competitive rather than a way to have fun with it. But to have fun with it, I think that's a lot better. So yeah, that would be for MLB. So Twitch, why did you start Twitch?
I started Twitch during COVID. I honestly didn't really have a plan of going full time or, you know, really becoming a full-time streamer in general. I was just bored. I played a bunch of video games. I became friends with some guys who streamed, and, you know, they thought I was a maniac, if I'm being honest. They were like, oh, dude, like, you say funny stuff, you're good at the game, you should absolutely stream. I kind of did it as something to have a little bit of fun and just not be as bored during COVID. And 20 went pretty solid. 21 did really well. 22 it started took off, and I believe I went full time in MLB The Show 22, and I love it, dude. I think I've always kind of wanted to do something that I love rather than it feeling like you go to your job and hate it every single day, whether it was streaming or whatever that may be in the real world. But that's how I started on Twitch, just honestly by a couple friends recommending it to me.
That's good. So so you said that, you know, you weren't gonna take it as like a full-time thing, and I can see now, you know, that you've been kind of like moving forward, not maybe to a full-time thing, but you've been doing a lot more frequently because of how much you've been gaining and because that you like it so much. So what was going through your mind when you found out that you were like gaining so much like popularity?
Even today, that doesn't really go through my mind. I like having fun with it. Of course, I like to see my numbers going up video by video or stream by stream. I don't know. I don't really think too hard about that. I really think of more of like having fun and creating something that I think is good, like a video or a stream or an idea. That's kind of the whole base of what I do. Like, if you're not having fun, then kind of why do it, you know?
Right, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like a lot of people have gained or like have started what they're doing because of COVID, since everybody was online at the time. So, you know, for me being a small YouTuber, only having 500, it's very hard for me now because I want to be a gaming YouTuber, right? So it's like everybody wants to be a gamer, right? So it's going to be a lot more complicated to be able to gain that whenever it's like everybody's doing it, you know, especially that the game that I'm playing, no one really cares about the game. But
well, I think the biggest thing is a lot of people, especially when you're starting out, man, like people don't understand there is a period where you do have to grow. I was streaming to 1 viewer, I was streaming to 2 viewers, I was streaming to 3 viewers, and that went on for months. Like that's not just something like you wake up one day and like you're so good at streaming that you have hundreds of people watching you. Like you still have to put in that time, put in that grind, like whatever that may be. And a lot of people get discouraged. That's why I always say don't look at the numbers. Even when I stream to this day, I don't look at how many people are watching the stream. I actually hide it a certain way. And I just try to read the people who are in there, read their comments, you know, be grateful for the people who are showing up to watch you rather than the people who haven't yet found you, you know?
That makes sense. Yeah, I've heard that a lot too. Not worry about who's watching at the time, but like worry about it, you know, what it could do in the future. I've always thought about that.
Exactly.
So I know a lot of people have started videos on TikTok. I know a lot of people have just started right off the bat with YouTube. Where did you start making videos in the first place?
TikTok for sure. I started streaming just kind of like fun, and then I wanted to grow my stream for sure. And a lot of people are like, dude, these are great clips. You have great moments. Why not put them on TikTok? So I started with TikTok. Then I made an Instagram, and then eventually I ended up making a YouTube, and been pretty consistent with that for the past couple years. I've just hit 1,000 uploads on my channel, and been doing it for a little bit over 3 years, I want to say, or maybe around 3 years.
3 years to be doing something that you're so passionate about, and it's like time flies because you love it so much, so you're not even worrying about it, that it just kind of just flies by.
Well, a lot of people don't invest in their own kind of product, and that's a big thing I think a lot of people are missing. They say, like I said, man, I wanted to continue to grow my product, and I was still working on the side for the first couple of years. And like a lot of people don't know, like I paid for an editor, I paid for a person that could make thumbnails, because if I did it myself, 1, I didn't have the time. 2, they didn't come out good. So just about every dollar I made from stream, I just invested into somebody who was good at that. And over time, it turned out well.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So you said you started during COVID?
Yeah, I would probably say late 2020, probably the end of that game, or like maybe like July of that game. And then, I've been working with ever since.
So out of all the MLB The Show games that you've played, which one is your favorite?
I don't, honestly, I don't know. I would have to say maybe 23. 21 was awesome. 22 was awesome. That's when I really started to be like, okay, like this can be something like that I can legitimately do. But 23 was a good game. Like a lot of people don't remember, 21 and 22's gameplay was horrendous. It doesn't matter. Like the content was great, and the no sets, no seasons was great. The gameplay was terrible. So I say the best thing and my favorite overall was definitely 23, probably.
Absolutely, yeah. So
Yeah.
So when 25 does come out, especially with all the updates that the 25 Instagram and Twitter have been showing, do you think 25 is gonna be, or do you think it's gonna be the same, or what do you think that's gonna be?
I definitely think it'll be different in multiple aspects. I mean, you can see Road to the Show is already kind of entirely different. Franchise, it seemed, was maybe a little bit different. We got 2 new Diamond Dynasty modes. There's no more sets and seasons. They went back to the MLB The Show 20 version of like programs and like in innings. I can't remember exactly what that was. But then they also have an entirely kind of new system or way the game's gonna work. I don't really know how it works, but it's only next gen.
Yeah.
So I think this is truly going to be the best game that we've gotten in years. And we've already seen 200 plus new legends is what they said yesterday in their trailer. So
I saw that, yeah.
I'm pumped, man. I am beyond pumped.
Yeah, me too. You know, I remember before 25 came out, I think I told you, it was either you or I told Scan on Twitch. It was like this weird idea. I know that it wouldn't go well, but it's like you as an umpire calling strikes, calling balls, and calling safes and outs. How do you think that would like implement into the game, or how do you think that gameplay would go?
I definitely, it would be an interesting mode. I love playing it. I love playing online. I love playing against people. Obviously the umps do make some bad calls here and there, but that could definitely be a solid game mode for sure, depending on kind of what it entailed. I don't know how many people would play it or love it, but for the people looking for it, man, I think it could be a solid mode for sure.
I don't know. Like I said, it was kind of like an idea that I had, but at the same time, being an umpire for like such a long period of time, only just calling balls and strikes, it could get boring sometimes, and I understand.
Absolutely.
That. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What else? I think that's it. I don't want to take too much of your time, so man, thank you for taking this time. And
absolutely, man. I hope everything goes well, especially with your journey of content creation, man. And just best advice I can give you, dude, is just like continue to work on what you love doing, and that's like the easiest thing to do,
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, bro.
Absolutely, dude.
All right. Well, I've got a baseball practice tonight. I'll try to see if you are streaming to hop in and try to edit the video. Should come out on Saturday at 5 because that's usually when I have my schedules, but I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know, and I'll send you the link whenever it comes out.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it, dude. Good luck with everything, dude, and I'll be in touch, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
All right, brother.
All right, take care.
Peace.
Yep.